Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's right, guys. As you just saw in the intro, I am going to show you today my perfect Universal Studios Florida. First off, we are going to be keeping the globe. The Universal Studios entrance needs a repaint very bad. This color palette for the entrance is kind of outdated, so instead of these golden arches, we should make them kind of gray. Then change the globe's color to blue and the Florida text to yellow. But other than that, it looks beautiful. Oh yeah, in my entrance plaza, we are going to have the filmmaker fountain you can find at Universal Studios Hollywood when you enter. And to keep the Minion rides outside from when you first enter, we are putting a huge Hollywood sign to make you feel immersed into the Hollywood section, because this entire thing is going to be Hollywood. Because it kind of bothers me how you can already see Minion rides at the front of the land. And the Minion ride isn't very immersive. But we're going to get to that next. This is what you will see if you will enter Minion Land. That's cause I want to stay in the Hollywood land for a little bit, and then when you enter those hills, you find super silly stuff. The Born Stuntacular will be staying, no major changes will be made. We are keeping everything in there the same as it is right now. But I do have a huge change coming up next. Yes, that is correct. We are unfortunately removing the horror makeup show. Let me explain. Hold on. Yes, I have been to this incredible show. It's a comedy horror at Universal Studios Florida currently. However, here's my hot take. It does not fit with the park at all anymore. There is an entire land dedicated to monsters at Epic Universe. They should at least move it there. I have an even better idea for what should go in this iconic Universal Theater. Yep, Oppenheimer, investigating the special effects. In case you didn't know, this film was made entirely by practical effects, so this would make for an amazing special effects show. You're welcome. Oh, and in case you're wondering about E.T., do not worry. It is permanently safe in my ideal Universal Studios. It is pure immersion, and it's got to stay. So it is staying, but its entrance will be rerouted next to Oppenheimer, alright? And the Hollywood Street is staying exactly the way it is, except I want to add some new stars for like Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, and modern pop stars now. And unfortunately, I think we should get rid of the animal actors. It is not very popular, it is not the best show Universal has to offer, but I have even better ideas in this next land. We are replacing animal actors with a Shrek log flume. It starts off outdoors. You get to see what it's like outside a swamp, and Shrek yells at you to get out, and then you enter the indoor portion of the ride, entering Farquaad's castle with fake knights that are meant to make fun of Mr. Toad's paper cut stuff. And then you get to watch Shrek fight some dirty gladiators and win, and be ordered on a quest to find Princess Fiona. And then we go to the most iconic scene of Shrek, and we see the cornfield, and Shrek reminds us there are more to rides than people think. Rides have layers. Then we go to a little drop into the castle of the dragon. And then we follow Shrek to go to the tallest tower, go out of the lip tail to see Princess Fiona. But first, before we get to see Fiona, we see the magic mirror on the wall revealed to Lord Farquaad, the princess. And then to make fun of Snow White's scary adventures, when we see Fiona's back, she looks like a human princess. And then when she turns back, she reveals herself as an ogre. And then we get straight to Fiona and Farquaad's wedding scene and go up a giant lift hill to go up to the window before Shrek says, "This is the trope that soaks you to the bone." He was right. This was the final huge drop of the ride. And then basically that's it. And then we see that we dig further into the Shrek land, and Shrek's meet and greet will be staying. The roller coaster is staying. We are getting rid of Kung Fu Panda. It is horrible. It is a horrible land, frankly. Kung Fu Panda is not very popular. I don't know what's gonna replace Kung Fu Panda. DreamWorks Carousel will be placed in the former spot of the DreamWorks show where the park with Barney once was. Because this land needs more kids' rides if it wants to declare itself a family land of any sort, frankly. Because babies and daddies cannot go on trolls. For babies, they are too little, and daddies are too big. Now to the next land, World Expo. Yes, the e-ticket of the World Expo area is a big 88 miles per hour roller coaster themed to the DeLorean of Back to the Future. It will be a replica of the Back to the Future roller coaster that is highly likely going to Universal Studios England. And that's the DeLorean. Yes. And then further down this mini area is Fast and Furious Orlando Drift. But unlike Universal Studios Hollywood, there's like Test Track, where it's a slot car dark ride. The queue is very similar to the old Fast and Furious Supercharge, which we'll get to later. But for now, let's proceed on to the next land. Which stays the same. Yes, the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera will be returning as a fully fledged land. We will be replacing the current San Francisco e-ticket, more like F-ticket, for it failed with critics and audiences. The e-ticket of the current F-ticket, is currently Sloan Simulate Slacker Bus, and we're retheming that Slacker Bus into a Mystery Machine dark ride. It might be very scary for young audiences though, but I'm sure it'll be very funny. It'll have practical effects. It'll fix everything wrong with the Fast and Furious ride, except maybe how rough the Mystery Machine can be. But I'm sure with how immersive it is, it'll make up for it. Also, where the first part of Fast and Furious is, we're replacing that with Top Cat to move you from New York to Hanna-Barbera, because Top Cat is set in New York, and we want something nice to transition from Hanna-Barbera to New York, or the vice versa. Then the Jetsons makes a nice connection with World Expo because that has no flat rides. By adding this path, the Jetsons connects with both Hanna-Barbera and World Expo. So it's not just the thrill rides, it seems more of a futuristic land. The Jetsons, it's basically a replica from Warner Brothers Movie World in Abu Dhabi. But since Warner Brothers doesn't have theme park rides in America, we're putting the Jetsons over here. Now, let's move on. As we enter New York, we are keeping this relaxing Central Park area. And when I went to Universal Studios, they had just recently added Secret Life of Pets figures Max and Duke over here. But we're going to move them over here. We're going to replace the mummy. Hold on. Remember, I said this about Horror Makeup Show. There is a Monsterland 4 horror and epic already. We have to get rid of the mummy. I'm sorry. We can put a Mummy's Playground in Darkmoor. We're replacing this with the iconic Secret Life of Pets dark ride at Universal Studios Hollywood. And in this Paradise thing, instead of the lockers, we're replacing it with Wicked. We finally are getting a Wicked show at Universal Studios Florida. This used to be at Universal Studios Japan, but with the smash hit Wicked from last year, we are going to make the Wicked show from Universal Studios' big hit. And then Ghostbusters, I know, by the time it's August, you're going to comment, "But Judge, they're already doing a Ghostbusters roller coaster replacing Rip Ride." I know. I want them to scrap that Ghostbusters roller coaster. It doesn't fit. Missed opportunity, because they're not going to do what I'm thinking. Ghostbusters should be the exact same ride thing as Buzz Lightyear, where you shoot down the ghosts. It's an on-the-mover dark ride shooter. That's what it's gotta be. It's perfect for Ghostbusters. I can't believe Six Flags thought of a dark ride shooter for Ghostbusters and not Universal. Come on. It's un-Six Flagsy though, which I kinda like. It's not un-Universally for them to just do coasters now, is it? Look, Jimmy Fallon's not very popular, so we are going to have to get rid of it. We are replacing it with SNL. It's gonna be, yes, a re-theme, okay? But the pre-shows are going to roast the heck out of the motion simulators. I promise. All the motion simulator. This ride's going to be so smooth, though. It's not gonna make sudden movement. The pre-show's just going to be roasting Fast and Furious Supercharged. It's going to be roasting every slacker bus. It's going to have so many roasts that I don't know yet, actually. Our final land. The current e-ticket of the Minion Land, Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem, will be staying. But it has some exterior changes we have to fix up right now. So like over there and over there should be orange white houses like in Hollywood. And also, I don't like how the soundstage is yellow, so we're gonna paint it like Gru's Glad Blue. Say goodbye to the superstar limo over here, VillainCon. Yes, we will be getting rid of VillainCon Minion Blast. It is a mid attraction and people are even calling it horrible. Although it's nowhere near as bad as Fast and Furious, it's not getting criticism, which means Universal may just take this one out for super silly fun midway games that you're going to see as you enter the super silly fun land with the super wheel and the silly swirly. Then for the big e-ticket, we have Super Silly Fun Coaster, which you might still see from the entrance, but I think that's fine. I think so. Because I don't get why they did build a Super Silly Fun Coaster instead of Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. I mean, yeah. I mean, Minion Mayhem's a good ride, but it's a missed opportunity that they didn't copy from Ride the Movie's Super Silly Fun Coaster. And there's what I'm gonna build. So, until next time, ride the movies. Keep riding them until, I don't know, frankly. Just keep riding them. Peace.